Orthodoxy is adherence to correct or accepted creeds, especially in religion. In the Christian sense, the term means conforming to the Christian faith as represented in the creeds of the early Church. The first 7 ecumenical councils were held between the years 325 and 787 with the aim of formalizing accepted doctrines. In some English-speaking countries, Jews who adhere to all the traditions and commandments of the Torah are often called Orthodox Jews, though the term Orthodox historically first described Christian beliefs. Christianity. In classical Christian usage, the term Orthodox refers to the set of doctrines which were believed by the early Christians. A series of ecumenical councils, also known as the first 7 ecumenical councils, were held over a period of several centuries to try to formalize these doctrines. The most significant of these early decisions was that between the Homoousian doctrine of Athanasius and Eustathius and the Heteroousian doctrine of Arius and Eusebius. The Homoousian doctrine, which defined Jesus as both God and man with the hypostatic union of the 451 Council of Chalcedon, won out in the Church and was referred to as orthodoxy in most Christian contexts, since this was the viewpoint of the majority. The earliest recorded use of the term orthodox is in the Codex Austinianus of 529 to 534, but heterodoxy was in use from the beginning of the 1st century of Christianity. Following the 1054 Great Schism, both the Western and Eastern churches continued to consider themselves uniquely Orthodox and Catholic. Over time, the Western Church gradually identified with the Catholic label, and people of Western Europe gradually associated the Orthodox label with the Eastern Church. This was in note of the fact that both Catholic and Orthodox were in use as ecclesiastical adjectives as early as the 2nd and 4th centuries, respectively. Today, the 2 largest Orthodox Christian communions are the Eastern Orthodox Church and Oriental Orthodoxy. Judaism. Orthodox Judaism is the approach to religious Judaism which subscribes to a tradition of mass revelation and adheres to the interpretation and application of the laws and ethics of the Torah as legislated in the Talmudic texts by the Tanaim and Amram. Orthodox Judaism is split into various different movements and factions with different ways of interpreting and following the laws and traditions of Judaism, and includes movements such as modern Orthodox Judaism and ultra-Orthodox Sephardi Judaism. Orthodox Judaism is distinct from conservative Judaism. Non-religious contexts. Outside the context of religion, the term orthodoxy is often used to refer to any commonly held belief, a set of beliefs in some field, in particular when these tenets, possibly referred to as dogmas, are being challenged. In this sense, the term has a mildly pejorative connotation. Related concepts. Orthodoxy is opposed to heterodoxy or heresy. People who deviate from orthodoxy by professing a doctrine considered to be false are called heretics, while those who, perhaps without professing heretical beliefs, break from the perceived main body of believers are called schismatics. The term employed sometimes depends on the aspect most in view. If one is addressing corporate unity, the emphasis may be on schism. If one is addressing doctrinal coherence, the emphasis may be on heresy. A deviation lighter than heresy is commonly called error, in the sense of not being grave enough to cause total estrangement, while yet seriously affecting communion. Sometimes error is also used to cover both full heresies and minor errors. The concept of orthodoxy is prevalent in many forms of organized monotheism. However, orthodox belief is not usually overly emphasized in polytheistic or animist religions, in which there is often little or no concept of dogma, and varied interpretations of doctrine and theology are tolerated and sometimes even encouraged. encouraged within certain contexts. Syncretism, for example, plays a much wider role in non-monotheistic religion. The prevailing governing norm within polytheism is often orthopraxy rather than the right belief of orthodoxy.